Welcome back to this video series on writing a Sudoku solver in Java. In this video, we will be modifying our Sudoku board class to allow it to read from a URL in addition to from an actual file. Now, this gets a little bit difficult because go back to our Sudoku board class. We have a constructor where it takes in a file name, and it's assuming that that string is a file name. But we might also want that to be an actual URL. So I think there's a couple ways to do this. I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do this. Try to read from the file, right? So if it's a file name, then that should succeed. It will be done. But if it's not, then we're going to jump into this catch. So it's actually not a file name. And so if it's not a file name, then we will read from URL file name. All right. Now again, read from URL is probably gonna, so we'll do something like try to read from a URL. And then inside of that, we will do another catch IO exception. And we'll do a system.out.println E at that point. Okay. Now read from URL doesn't exist yet. Just keep that in mind. We'll get that in a moment. So a little bit of Googling. How do you, I think what I Googled here was Java read from URL. So a URL is, I think it's a universal relationship link or something like that. It's a URL is a link to a website. And so we are using a buffered reader. And so I came across this pretty handy little code here where we can basically do the same thing, except we'll do this, we'll have to do a URL open stream. So URL will be the URL class, which is part of java.net. So if we need, we're going to have to do an import. Do an import java.net.url. Okay. And so then we will use that to make a URL. Okay, so we have our read from file. We're going to make another void method. So public void read from URL, and it's going to take in a URL. Now, as we can see here, right, we say URL equals URL, and we can take in the string. So we'll say URL. So I'm gonna put URL. I like this URL string. I think we'll call it URL string. All right, so URL equals new URL, and it's going to take in URL string right there. Okay, now notice that it can throw an exception, and so what we'll do is we will add a throws declaration. All right, so we're going to try to read from the URL. All right, we're going to try to catch, and we're not going to catch an IO, we'll catch a malformed URL exception. Because that's what our, I need to give it a different name here. EX. Okay. And so we have like a nested try, right? So it's going to try to read from a file. If that fails, it's going to try to read from a URL. If that fails, then it's going to print out whatever this is. In fact, we'll go ahead and if both of them fail, we'll do 2 prints. We'll have it print out both exceptions, right? So it's going to print out the original exception, bad file, and then also malformed URL. Okay. So we have our URL. So coming back here, we just want to make a reader like we did before. In fact, a lot of this code from read file is probably going to be the same. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to it's going to be very similar but slightly different. So I'm just going to copy this. I don't want to retype all of this. I'm going to copy it, I'm going to paste it here and then figure out what we need to change. I don't think we want this new file reader. I think we were actually, according to this, we want a new input stream reader and then URL to open stream. So new input stream reader, and then it'll be URL dot open stream. Okay. Again, we have this input stream reader. We're going to have to import it. Yeah, I think I want input stream. No, it says input stream reader. That doesn't seem right though. I don't really want to do all this import business. Change to Java to IO to input stream reader. Oh yeah, okay, so that's so we'll have to do the manual import. So we'll do a import java.io.input stream reader. So I think the issue there was there's more than one input stream reader, so it was like trying to figure out which one I wanted, and it picked the wrong one. I don't know that it matters a whole lot, but there we go. I also don't need this arrays import anymore, do I? All right, cool. This is gonna be wanting to say it throws an IO exception, and so we will do a quick fix. And again, an IO exception. Now I'm wondering, so I guess a malformed exception is also we need to catch an IO exception. Again, I guess that's more general than the malformed. So there we go. When in doubt, go with an IO exception. So there we go. I think that should be it, because the rest of this logic is the same. We're going to be reading in the reader, get one line at a time, we parse it, put it into our board. So yeah, that should be it. Let's go to our tester here. And remember, let's just make sure we didn't break anything. So I'm going to do a Sudoku tester. That still works. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to this our Sudoku page here, and I'm just going to right click on one of these later puzzles and copy link address. I'm just going to get that address, and here instead of s01a.txt, I'm going to paste in the link. Now let's see what happens. Takes it a little bit longer to load it, but that did it. Let's make sure that's the right puzzle. 007. That doesn't look right. Oh, 11. Helps you look at the right puzzle, right? 11C. 700004. Yeah, that did it. That solved it. And so then if we change this to true, we can not only watch it download the puzzle, but we can also watch it, oops, we can watch it solve the puzzle. That's pretty cool. We have it now. We have the ability now to actually get a URL. So let's take a look at that code one more time here. That's pretty cool. We have this URL class, and so we can actually read from a plain text file URL. So yeah, so that'll do it for that video. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Do a, let's see here, add URL reader. We'll commit push that. And I think that will actually do it for this video series. We may come back and revisit this GUI front end. This is done. I'm not sure, but I think that's where we'll leave it for right now. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe see if you can come up with some additional extensions for this that might interest you. Maybe an ability to like create your own board somehow easily. I don't know, but that's all I've got. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.